Down in Philly where the orange and black still burn. Four die-hard voices got a lot to say and learn. Jesse Bell is leading, Mike Hot from Delco streets. Armin dropping truth bombs, never missing a beat. Wade's got the energy, pumping up the crew. Corey's breaking it down like only he can do. From the Wells Fargo roar to the quietest ship change. Just talking Flyers hockey, keeping it real, no strings. Flyers Alley, yeah, we're coming through. For the fans, by the fans, orange and black crew. Breaking down the games, the goals and the fights. Trade rumors, hot takes every single night. Flyers Alley.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Season 8, Episode 17 of Flyers Alley, brought to you by Iron and Steel Threads and Burgers by Wildwich. We have those ad reads coming at some point. Joining me today, Greg Montour from up north. What's going on, brother? How we doing?
Doing pretty good. Just getting ready to play hockey tonight, so just chilling in the morning here.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, what we got going on?
I got a game at 9 o'clock tonight. Played 2 games Friday night, and then shot out to Hamilton to pick up my wife at the airport.
Whoa.
So yesterday was just a chillax day too.
Yeah, that's we're getting ready to do that here. Charlotte wants to start her own podcast. So last night after the Flyers played, we started talking about that, but it won't be released to the public, obviously. But it's gonna be fun. We're gonna start doing that, I guess, today. Like I was telling you backstage, I'm redoing the studio. It's been well overdue, and I gotta split the Flyers content away from the living room show, so different camera feeds will look different. But yeah, so we got a pretty good show here today. We're missing Wade, Armin, and Corey. Corey's feeling under the weather. He's supposed to be in studio with us here this morning. But yeah, me and Greg are going to hold it down. And with that, we're going to jump into our first segment of I can't remember. The Riverlily Coffee Company. We're going to get into that. We're going to get to the games that happened. Did have kind of a successful week of Flyers hockey. Did have one little hiccup, but I think last night made up for that, but we'll get into that here. All right. This segment is brought to you by Riverlily Coffee Co. Go to Instagram or Facebook. And if you're in the area, they just opened the big coffee shop. They're like selling out every day. So they're like big on pierogies and coffee and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys go check them out on social media. Stop in. I believe they're open from 7 until 3 and get it going. All right. So this week started out a shootout. What was it? Let's see. Yeah, shootout win over the what was it, shootout win? It was a shootout win over the Toronto Maple Leafs, 3-2. We usually don't beat the Maple Leafs, so this was good for everybody here. We don't get down in Maple Leafness, but yeah, it was nice to finally put them down. We got Christian Dvorak getting his 13th in the first period with a power play goal assisted by Denver Barkey and Noah Cates. Noah Cates got his 12th of the season assisted by Bobby Brink, who is no longer a Flyer, in the third period. And then, it went to shootout. It was a Vladar win. Michkov and Zegras both scored in the shootout. Dan Vladar left the game with a .935 save percentage. Shots on goal were in the favor of the Maple Leafs, 31-25. Let me see penalties. Were there a lot of penalties? Yeah, we had too many men on ice. That was absolutely crazy. Ristolainen got a hooking, and then Denver Barkey got a tripping. But for the most part, pretty good game. Nail biter. There's been a lot of nail biters here lately. I would rather not have them be like that. But yeah, thoughts on this game, Greg? Would anything that you thought was good, bad, needs work?
Well, I love the outcome because up here in Canada, it's all Maple Leafs, Maple Leafs, Maple Leafs. So anytime we beat them is great. And but yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. Seeing ex-Flyer in the other net, that was pretty crazy actually. He's
Yeah,
doing pretty good over there. But
they got
we
Stolars in that. Yep.
Yeah, and we trade him for Cam Talbot, who didn't play much when he was here. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, other interesting fact too when it comes to up at Toronto. I mean, they don't have. We played against Scott Lawton before he was traded at the deadline. He's now a LA King, which is very odd to me. I don't know, just an odd thing. But yeah, it's good to get that win over the Maple Leafs because the next one is
that trade surprised me too.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he would go from, Philadelphia and then to Toronto, which is, which it is what it is, but and then go all the way over to the West Coast to the Kings. I mean, I would keep an eye on that. That's going to be a sneaky good move, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We move on to the next game, which was absolute shellacking by the Utah Mammoth, 3-0. Not much to talk about. Was a Dan Vladar loss. He was pretty much the only one playing that game. Not very much to talk about. We did have our guy Matt Peretta in there.
The Tippett Dvorak.
Whoa. Okay. All right, we lost Greg. All right. He was having some technical difficulties. What's going on, Brandon? Brandon Paul says, "What's up, fellas?" All right, we're gonna continue here. Greg is new to the podcasting world, and he's getting his equipment still going, joining the alley here. So bear with our guy. Yeah, like I said, there's not much to talk about when it comes to the Utah Mammoth versus the Flyers. We did have Matt Peretta taking pictures there, which that was pretty much the win of the night there. But moving on to the next game, obviously was the Penguins shootout win last night, 4-3. The Penguins and the Flyers are literally battling right now. Flyers are currently 29, 22, and 11, fifth in the Metro. The Penguins are 31, 17, and 14. They're third in the Metro. It's going to be a battle for the playoffs here. I'm not really all that sure. We'll get it. I got some segments that are basically dedicated to what exactly the look is going to be here for the Flyers going forward. Brandon Paul chimes in again and says, "Great, much needed win for us." It definitely was, but it also gave them a point. So like that kind of sucks. I hate doing that. I'm pretty sure that it was Scott Hartnell that was saying we needed a regulation win. We needed those 2 points, so they didn't get a point. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll get into it in the next segments. But we got let's see, we got Owen Tippett scoring his 20th of the season, assisted by Cam Mueller and Trevor's. The second period, we get Alex Bump with his NHL debut and his first NHL goal, assisted by Nikita Grabin. And then Denver Barkey gets his third of the season, assisted by Matt Vimichkov and Noah Cates. Was a Dan Vladar win, but he left the game with an 870% save percentage, which is to be expected when the score is that high. It goes to a shootout. And Mitch Goff misses his. Well, it says he misses, but I don't think that's how that went down. It was a absolute barn burner. This game was too much. It was a nail biter, heart attack affecting game here. But Corey Balk chimes in. Missing you here, big dog. He said, you said earlier in the year, regulation wins are a must instead of these shootout points. And it's just, it is the deal. I mean, and it is affected us at this point. We do have games in hand over certain teams, but I just don't think it's going to matter. And at this point, especially after the deadline, you know, you really have to pay attention to what the franchise's goal is here. But anyway, we'll get into that later. It's always good to beat the Penguins, though. I mean, obviously, we all hate the Penguins. It's just the battle of the Keystone. But let's get into the games that are about to happen here. And upcoming games brought to you by SeatGeek. All right, upcoming games brought to you by SeatGeek. If you have the app, or you don't have it, download it. Use promo code Old City Sports Network, all one word, for $20 off your first purchase. And if you want to be a scallywag, definitely get new emails and just rock that promo code. $20 off in AHL is basically like a $10 game. So make sure you do that. So tomorrow, March 9th, we have the Flyers versus the Rangers. Says here that the Rangers are 8th in the Metro, 24, 30, and 8. But that doesn't really matter because they stunned us last time. Vladar is expected, so is Shesterkin. Injuries are as followed. JT Miller's on IR with an upper body, so is Matt Rempe with a thumb. And I believe in the press conference yesterday, Nick Seeler and Konechny are scheduled to be back, which they are missed. So we definitely need them to come back. Rodrigo Abols is on IR with an ankle, and Tyson Forrester is still out. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. The last time we played the Rangers, we won 3-2 on February 26th this year, and this will be at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So maybe we'll get some of our people to go up in there and take some pictures and do the thing. Also, again, if you guys want to call in, OCSN landlines on at 302-615-0744. And chime in and tell me what you're thinking about the Flyers right now. So after the Rangers, we have the Capitals on Wednesday. And that is at the Xfinity Mobile Arena too. Last time we played them, they beat us 3-1 on February 25th. Logan Thompson is expected. Capitals are 6th in the Metro with a record of 31, 26, and 7. And they don't have any injuries, so they're going to be up and running here. They don't have John Carlson anymore, which is very odd. So the Flyers don't have to worry about that anymore, which, that's something that's been always a thorn in our side. And after that game, we have it's a back-to-back. So we have the Capitals on Wednesday, and then we have the Wild on Thursday at 8 o'clock. And that is, that's expected to be a Sam Ersson start. Their injuries are Marcus Foligno and Joe Hansen. And the last time we played them, we beat them 2-1. And that's going to be in St. Paul, Minnesota. So we're going to Bobby Brink. And that's another thing that happened. If you were living under a rock, you know that the Flyers do not have Bobby Brink anymore. We'll get in. We got into that on Friday. I'm going to touch on it a little bit here. And then let's see. Saturday we have the Blue Jackets at 7:30. Blue Jackets are 4th in the Metro with a record of 32, 21, and 9. Jet Greaves is expected for that game. They get a couple injuries. They're day-to-days. It's going to obviously probably be so far out they're going to play. Blue Jackets beat us 5-3 on January 28th of this year. And that this is at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So, we'll see. They got a jam-packed schedule here, but it's definitely not a schedule that they can't be successful on. And with that being said, we're going to move to Alley Talk, and that's brought to you by Iron and Steel Threads. All right, Alley Talk's brought to you by Iron and Steel Threads. Go to www.ironandsteelthreads.com. Use promo code OldCity10 for 10% off site-wide, and a portion of the proceeds go to youth hockey organizations. So rock that bad boy. All right, so we did have some monumental things that did happen. We're going to touch on some things. Now that Greg's not here, I'm by myself. We're just going to speed through these bad boys. Comment when you want to. Call in if you want. Like I said, OCSN landline 302-615-0744. Alex Bump got his NHL debut and also got his first NHL goal last night against the Penguins. That's great. I've been waiting for this kid. I followed Noah Cates, followed Denver Barkey, and followed Alex Bump very, very closely until they came up. So like now, I mean, it's kind of not really looking at too many Phantoms, but realized that last night when me and my oldest were watching the Phantoms game that don't really need to watch them anymore because everybody that I've been waiting to come up are up here now. He had a really good game last night. You can see his energy is there. He's a little pit bull. He gets into the rough areas. He's not afraid to throw his body around. He is a rough character when it comes to press conferences as well. I do remember what was the last year, the year before, when the Phantoms were in the playoffs and they completely waxed the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. He had some things to say post game. They were kind of, that they're just a bad team, and that's why we beat them. I like that kind of talk, as long as you can back it up. And it does seem like he can back it up. He's a good player. I'm telling you, I've been waiting for him to come up. They did announce in the press conference with Danny B the other day that he was going to be the next one to come up. And if you did, get the emails or whatever it is. It did say that there was going to be an unnamed player going to be on the offense. So I just didn't. Obviously, it was Alex Bunk that was slotted in there. Let's see. Corey Walk says, "Good for Bump." Yeah. But yeah, so good things for him. I don't see a reason for them to drop him down. Bobby Brink's gone. There's definitely a void to be filled there. So that is definitely something that I think is going to be for the rest of the season. I do think that you could make some other adjustments too, like maybe scratching Noah Juleson and letting one of the defensemen come up, like Oliver Bonk. We're getting to the end of the season here, and it's not looking like we're going to really make the playoffs unless a miracle happens, which that's cool. But at the same time, we're not ready. But Flyers playoff hockey is awesome, so you can't go against it if it happens. Moving on here. The trade deadline acquisitions were an interesting thing. Oh, here's Greg. Here we go. Go against it if it happens. Moving on here.
Sorry, brother. I think it's the tariffs. Cut me off.
Yeah. Were an interesting thing. Oh, here's Greg. You can mute that. Mute that, friend. There you go.
I think it's the
tariffs.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, there he goes again. He said it was the tariffs. Anyway, yeah, like I said, Greg's having some technical difficulties, so we'll let him slide. But yeah, the trade deadline acquisitions. If, like I said, if you live under a rock, you didn't know what happened. I'm gonna skim over them real quick. Not gonna dwell on them at all. But yeah, right off the bat, the first one that happened was Bobby Brink to Minnesota for David Jiricek or Jiricek. I'm sorry for pronouncing his name wrong. He did score for the Phantoms last night, so that's already looking like it's going in a positive direction. So yeah, that's working out. Unfortunately for Bobby Brink, there was, let me see, I did pull up a thing from Reddit that was a little shocking and makes me think that maybe it's not as welcoming as people would think, being traded to Minnesota. Let me put, is this it here? Yeah, so Michael Russo on Twitter stated, this is Bill Guerin on Bobby Brink. The first thing I told them was, this is not a family reunion. This is not to get together with your buddies. Tell your buddies and your family they know where the ticket office is. What we got a call.
Call from Waderuska Jr. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on, dude?
Just wanted to call in. Flyers fucking suck.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa now.
I'm talking to Uncle Jesse, buddy.
How's he doing? What's going on, brother?
How are you flying around right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just speeding through this stuff now. Greg's having technical difficulties, so just rip it through.
Yeah, I saw you doing solo when I flipped over on Facebook earlier. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a call in.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rip through these things and call it a day. I'm not really too worried about it. I'm on the trade deadline thing now. I'm just skimming over that real quick, and then we're gonna continue. Well, yeah, I pulled up. I'm on the Bobby Brink trade deadline thing, and I found something on Reddit that basically was saying that their GM just isn't here for like a family reunion and such, and told his family and friends that they know where the ticket office is, that they're not getting free tickets, and it doesn't sound like it's going to be a good time for Bobby Brink in Minnesota. So,
yeah, that's crazy.
That's expected, but here's what it is. He's gone. So
yeah,
but
got you, bro.
Yep. Well, thanks for calling in, and
yeah, man.
I'll do it up. I'll talk to you later. Anyway, that was Wade. Everyone knows Wade. So, anyway. Yeah, so as is the thing that was said, like I was saying before Wade called in and interrupted me. Bill Guerin said on Bobby Brink, the first thing I told him was, this isn't a family reunion. This isn't a get-together with your buddies. Tell your buddies and your family they know where the ticket office is. Buy your own freaking tickets. He basically was testing the waters. That's not a good look. And Bobby Brink's such a nice kid, dude. So he's probably shell shocked by that comment. But hey, the cards you were dealt. Corey Welk chimes in and says, "Well, they got to get as much money as possible since their cap is at 0." Yeah, that's true. All right, but yeah, like I said, Bobby Brink to Minnesota for David Jiricek, and like I did state, he scored for the Phantoms last night. Then you get to Boston, Massimo Rizzo and Alexi Gendron for Brett Harrison and Jackson Edward. I do believe if you want a deep dive into that, me and Corey did touch on their stats, their career, and the way that they were going their entire season. Straight AHL move. They went right to the AHL. And I think a couple of them are ECHL bound. We know that Rizzo was with the Reading Royals for a while there, so don't expect too much out of that. The one that does suck, and I do have a segment set up for that. It's going to be directly after this segment, is the Nick Delorier to Carolina for 2027 7th round pick conditional. So like the problem with that is there's cool things and then there's not cool things. The thing that I like the most is the fact that Danny B and Delorier sit down. Delorier is a known enforcer. He's not a goal scorer. He's not a point getter. And Danny B says, "Listen, we're gonna let you chase a cup." That's amazing for allowing an enforcer to go chase a cup is awesome. Delorier didn't want to go. He even did state that his family is going to stay in Philly. So don't know what that is. Hopefully he does get a chance at the cup. We're not there yet. So, but he did everything he could for the city of Philadelphia. The dude, I mean, I think he lost his first fight against the guy from Boston the other day. Name's escaping me. I can't remember. But and then we have the Luke Glendening waiver pickup, which I'm going to be honest with you, last night, dude, it just immediately rubbed me the wrong way. Danny B during the press conference was just I do have a segment. We'll dive right into that now since we're already talking about it. Concerned that Danny B is putting a lot of faith in Glendenning. Whether this is just like blowing smoke and just like trying to justify the move that he made here. You didn't have to make this move. You didn't have to pick him up. His save percentage is very high. Again, I would direct people to go to Flyers Alley's episode on Friday. We did dive into that. Corey did unveil that his save percentage is pretty high. That makes sense. But everything else with him is absolutely not the guy that you want. So this move makes absolutely no sense. I don't care. You can say it's a depth move. It's not. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. You didn't have to do it. To me, this is the Flyers making a move without having to spend money. I understand that they're probably going to make moves in the off season. I will be the first person to say if they do not make any moves in the summer, in the off season, I am 100% off the Danny B and Jonesy train. It doesn't make any sense. You can legitimately go get Quinn Hughes in the offseason. We have $54 million to play with. Go get someone. You have to spend money if you want to make the playoffs. And Corey chimes in and says, dude is a slug. And he is. He was in the penalty box immediately last night. He did draw a penalty, but at the same time, like it's just not a good look. So to me, it's very concerning that Danny B is. I would just come straight out. I wouldn't have said anything. He doesn't have to say anything to the media. And he did state with the wrist. That's why I don't have the wrist aligning as a big thing, is because they did ask about the wrist aligning rumor, and Danny B is basically saying that the media made that up. He never came out and said that they were even trying to move Risto. But at the same time, Brandon just chimed in and said, I was shocked Danny B coming out and saying how they didn't want to move Risto. And I think it's a game, dude. It's like a game of chess. They're not going to admit that they messed up and weren't able to move him. But I mean, think about it logically. They couldn't move him. The price tag was too high. Now, whether or not they wanted to put the price tag that high and see if they're going to get lucky or not, I mean, you got to take that chance. They wanted a first and a prospect for Risto. Every single team in the NHL was keeping an eye on Risto last season and this season. He was hurt all the time. I got in an argument with somebody on Instagram about it because he swore that price tag wasn't too high, and it is. And I said, well, I'll talk to you on Friday, and we'll see about what is going on here. And basically what ended up happening was Friday came, and Risto was still here. So the price tag was too high. Danny B came out and kind of blew smoke up everyone's ass and said, well, we never said that we were going to trade Risto. Well, then that's concerning too, because he's been hurt for seasons. So like it really doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's just the vibe that Bristow gives off is would be someone that you're going to want to trade. He's always hurt. He's a bronze medalist, so he played fine for his country, but then once he comes to the Flyers, he gets hurt immediately, and it's a mess. You're gonna want. Wade says 100% on Risto. I mean, but at the same time, if you're not moving Risto, which you should, you definitely should have. You just put the price tag too high. As long as he stays healthy, he's good in Philly. So it's definitely a double-edged sword situation. That's why I didn't bring it up. Obviously, we just talked about it, but yeah. Another thing that's going to be a problem here is if you watch the game last night, you could see our guys were getting thrown all over the place. Nick Delory leaving definitely leaves an enforcer hole that is not going to get filled at any point in time here. We do have Garner Hathaway, which is fine, but Garner Hathaway is not going to drop the gloves with Connor Clifton, which was last night, throwing our guys all over the place. That's just not going to happen. Carson keeps saying, hey, Carson, what's going on, buddy? Little man. Yeah, so you need an enforcer. And the Flyers did bring up Garrett Wilson, which would have been something that you can entertain. But then they obviously sent him back to Lehigh. You do have Nick Sealer, but like we stated the other day about Nick Sealer, man, Corey's very convinced that Nick Sealer and Danny B are going to sit down and have a conversation about Nick Sealer's career here. And he may have him buy him out because I think Corey, if it's almost league min or it's like 800K. So he's gotten in one fight this season. He is a decent D man, but at the same time, like you were here because we needed you to throw down. And you did that. And I think the wires got crossed here and you decided to start playing defense heavily. But well, now we need you to fight again. So I don't know what the issue is going to be here, but I do feel like Corey's been pretty consistent this year on predictions. I think it makes sense because obviously something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but I'm a big Steeler fan. Brandon Paul says, I want to know what Sealer is going to do going forward. And it was nice seeing Drysdale drop the mitts. I do have that. I was a huge fan of that as well, Brandon. And Wade says, I feel Sealer's going to retire. And I think that's the direction they're going in, but they need to figure it out. And me and Corey said they could bring up Sawyer Bolton. Yeah, you have to be, the fan base has to understand though, like these are not players that are going to be scoring points. Now, we did find out yesterday or on Friday that Alex Bump it did do MMA from a young age, so I'd be very interested to see if he's going to be throwing down. Didn't know that aspect of him, so I'm excited about that. But also don't want our guys that should be scoring to get hurt like that. Wade says we got other fighters. We do. Like I'm saying, bring up Sawyer Bolton. Let him stay up here. Explain to the fan base. Listen, or explain to Sawyer. Can I say this to the media just to shut them the fuck up? He's not here to score points. He's here to protect our talent. Because last night you could see it was all out melee on our guys. Open season. So can't have that. It's something that the Flyers, the Philadelphia fan base is not going to tolerate. It is what it is. You can't be doing stuff like that. Another thing that trade deadline things is I was a little concerned that there was absolutely zero talk about Sam Urson. There was a lot of trade things, but it was linked to Risto, which was, I don't remember what the picks were, but there were picks, and it was Patrick Laine and 50% salary contention and Arbor Jackeye for Ristolainen, and I forget what the other thing was. I would be interested in that. But Montreal has two very, very talented goalies. You could send Sam Urson for literally a bag of pucks, get back either a starting goaltender or a backup for Vladar. You would get Jackeye back, but the thing that threw me off was I don't want Patrick Laine. I'm not really sure what the deal is with him. He's off the ice, on the ice. He's injured. He's got personal things. I'm not sure if it's substance abuse. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I'm not sure what it is. And if you take a look at the guy, he looks like an absolute maniac. So something's going on there. I would switch that around. No Patrick Laine. I know they want to get rid of him. I don't want him. It's just something that we need to address with the Sam Urson thing. We need a goalie. We need him now. There's no way. And that's what leads me into all the things that Danny B and Jonesy did for the trade deadline. They're legitimately not concerned about the playoffs. And if that's the case, just say it. We're not going to be able to go into the playoffs with the roster we have. We're not going to be able to go into the playoffs with the goalie tandem we have. The defensive core is close to being good, but like some of the stuff that's going on here, like Cam York shouldn't have taken advantage of like that last night when Jamie Drysdale dropped the gloves. Like he shouldn't have. Like you got to get bigger. The David Juracek addition, he's a bigger guy, so I would expect him to come up. I do know that the decor for him to go directly to the Phantoms definitely says that the Flyers are not in a win now mentality for the playoffs. If you're trading a Bobby Brink to Minnesota for a defenseman that's hasn't really been proven to be NHL ready yet and still needs development, like he stated in the press conference, that says you're not ready for right now. He's not ready for right now. But when Bonk and him come up, I am interested in the decor of like a Drysdale, a York, a Bonk, a Juracek, Ristolainen, whether Sealer will be here or not. Juleson is not going to be here. So, I'm interested in that. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Let's see. Brandon chimes in and says he'd be the first person I try to trade Urson. And I think Keith Primo's son is a goalie for the Habs too. I think he was up and down between the AHL. Greg Montour says Urson is so bad and no one wants him. Line is always on the IR as well. And then Brandon says, I think York should have been traded years ago. I do. The one thing that I get wrong all the time is it takes a little bit for the defense to mold. So you got to let them simmer a little bit longer, apparently. So I'm not the D guy. So that's apparently a thing. So, but and one last thing is something that we did see last night during the Flyers Penguins game was the Vladar thing. The Vladar penalty was Vladar's fault. And obviously you see all these Yahoos online, Flyers Talk, Flyers Twitter, Flyers Nation. That was a horrible call. That was the right call. That player wasn't in his crease, one. So Vladar is just getting aggressive. I don't know if everybody's seen Vladar challenging, coming way out of the net, way out of the crease, challenging players almost to the blue line and almost getting caught. He's getting caught being way too aggressive. Bro, stay in the net and cover the puck. Just stay there. I promise you they will come to you. That type of play, I am not interested in. Better safe than sorry. Stay in the net. Do not come out of the crease that far. That is insanity. He poked that guy. That is it. That's interference. That's what that is. So to those of you that thought that penalty was crazy, I just wanted to address that because it's insanity. That's it. We talked to Greg about it. Greg's a goalie. He's been playing goalie the position for a very long time. It's 100% his fault. So I don't know what game you're watching. They even went back and showed it, and the player wasn't in the crease. Even that doesn't even matter anymore. So like it's still, even if he was in the crease, it still would have been an interference call. That rule was gone. The crease is smaller too, by the way, for that exact reason. So no go. Knock it off. Let's see. We got a 100%. There we go. Corey, 100% no argument there. It just wasn't a penalty. It was a penalty. It was Vladar's fault. Like, you can't. Yes, it is. It definitely calmed me down because I was ripping and roaring last night. I saw that and was like, what are you doing? Anyway, let's move on. We'll move on to Buttes of the Week. Everybody that's out there, you know the deal. Give your Buttes in. All right, Flyers Alley Buttes of the Week are brought to you by Warlord Beard Oil. Go to www.warlordbeardoil.com and use promo code OldSports for all caps for 15% off site-wide, and any orders over $65 get you free shipping. Obviously, if you got a beard, you want to rock that bad boy. Anyway, Buttes of the Week, everyone give it, man. I'm going to give mine in because they haven't brought theirs in yet. Definitely going to go 3 is going to be Jamie Drysdale dropping the mitts. Love that. I got that video. I don't know what content creator was on YouTube. I couldn't mute him because it was ridiculous with the guy screaming, being a moron, but chopped up a little bit. It wasn't technically a fight, but it is what it is. Let's see. Number 2 is definitely going to be Noah Cates / Michkov. These two are definitely humming right now. Looking at that being the future of the team. That's looking like it's going to be a good thing here. And you got to kind of give it to Zegras too. I mean, the dude's an absolute cheat code in the shootouts there. It's amazing. And my number 1's gonna be Alex Bump. I've been following this guy for a long time. Everything about the kid, I love his attitude. Love how humble he was. He was a very aggressive kid in rookie camp and development camp. This was the guy that everybody was talking about. It was Denver Barkey and it was Alex Bump. Jonesy was talking about it. There's a couple interviews with Tocchet, him saying, "Yeah, this is you got to see this kid. This is the kid," and it's Alex Bump. So if you think about it here, Alex, just let this simmer in your brain here, people. I just got goosebumps thinking about it. Denver Barkey, Alex Bump, Porter Martone, Matvey Michkov, Trevor Zegras, Noah Cates. Could be a thing next year. Just saying. I already went over the decor. Decor looks good. So, Alex Bump, good on you, dude. We looking forward to doing an interview with you here at some point. I'm gonna start dipping my toes back into interviews, and yeah, we'll be doing that. Greg Montour chimes in and gives his Buttes of the week. It says Vladar, Tippett / Zegras. Yeah, Tippett's a good one. Gotta give it to Vladar and Barkey. Yeah, Denver Barkey's definitely there. Scored last night too. It was great seeing both of those guys score. That's just you brought both of them up. Now they're both humming. Let them go. These kids they're good now. But we got to figure out the goalie thing. And if anybody else doesn't have theirs, we're gonna move on. I asked for him, he didn't give them, so we're gonna go to the Turnpike.
No mercy!
All right, Turnpike's brought to you by Burgers by Wildwich. Go to their Instagram at Wildwich. Facebook, you could search them at Burgers by Wildwich. They're a burger place here in Claymont, right off of Philly Pike, across from the Wawa next to the McDonald's. Their app on Google Play Store, just search Wildwich, WILDWICH. Gives you the full menu, recommended platters. They got burgers, they got milkshakes, they make their own teas, they make their own lemonade. They have fries, they have hot dog, they have everything. Everything you want. Highly recommended. Brandon chimes in, gives his Buttes of the week, his Bump Barkers. I like that. And Vladar. Anyway, yeah, Burgers by Wildwich. Check it out. We're going to be doing some content up there here in end of March, beginning of April. And it's going to be a good time. All right, for me, Turnpike is, let's see. I mean, I kind of got to give it to Sanheim. Sanheim's been getting beat constantly. Cam York's getting beat too. I don't think it's a one person. Can't throw Sam Urson in there because the dude's just, I mean, we all know that. But I definitely have to say Sanheim. I'm gonna ignite the flame of Greg Montour here. The dude, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we wasted an entire season on the Turnpike and the sin bin and all that. That's great. Thank you for reminding me. Greg says since they won't get rid of Sanheim, then Andre needs to go. Andre is getting beat every 10 seconds. And I understand the defenseman, like I just said, the Brandon, the defenseman take a little bit longer to develop. I understand that. But like at the same time, with the defensemen that are coming up, you know, you can't block Oliver Bonk from coming up. I want to see Hunter Thompson coming up. Like I don't. We got to let the kids come up. Also, another thing too. I was getting in a little bit of a debate over with the A2D guys on the fly. I think it's Flyers Talk, A2D, whatever it is. They didn't have. It's just an addition to the Luke Glendening. They didn't have to get Luke Glendening if they were worried about getting somebody. What's that? Lane Peterson, the kid we have down in Lehigh. We could have brought him up. Everybody go to hockeydb.com and check out our guy down in Lehigh, Lane Peterson. Could have brought him up. It's very shocking too. I forget how many goals and assists and everything he has, but like Corey broke that down the other day. Unreal. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, for me, I think I do. I'll take it from Sanheim. So Sanheim's here for a while. It definitely is Andre. Andre is. You got to figure that out because he's just not the guy right now. I would drop him and bring up Bonk now. Bonk's doing really good for the Phantoms right now. The Andre experiment is over for now. Just send him back down and get some seasoning. And if Bonk doesn't work, send him back down and get some seasoning. Just figure it out here. But you got to figure it out with Andre. That experiment's almost done. With that being said, we're going to move on to Moron of the Week. We do have 3. They're going to be interesting. So stay with us.
What the f***? Where's that f***ing sound coming from?
All right, if you're new to the show, every week we get our insider to go into these groups on Facebook because I refuse to be in there because they're a bunch of fucking mutants. And this is we just get the pretty much the dumbest thing said. And we bring it on here. And it's not brought to you by anybody. We just like doing it because we like talk shit. So this is from Scott Wilson from Flyers Talks Facebook group. Having witnessed, and this for the podcast, and I'll read it off to you. Having witnessed all the Flyers' missteps with young talent over the past 50 years, I can't help shaking the feeling they did it again with Cutter Gauthier. Granted, I think it was arrogant for Cutter to be insistent that he make the big club roster, but perhaps it was justified. I'm a backer of Jonesy and Briere, but I think they blew it on Cutter. Look at his production in year 2. He's exactly what the Flyers have needed for years. Hindsight being 2020, if they have allowed a few hurt feelings with players in the system and given Gauthier what he wanted, we would probably be back in the playoff season. So me and Greg were just talking about this before we came on. I just want to let's get here because I'm getting tired of the Cutter Gauthier shit because it's just people don't understand it. So. Just for a little insider there, Cutter Gauthier was drafted by the Flyers in the first round, 5th overall in 2022. Now, I just want to get into something here. In 2021-22, he was playing for the United States National Development Team. Okay. In 2002-2003 season, he played for Boston College, 32 games. So when they drafted him and then they started trying to talk to him about coming to camp, allegedly what ended up happening was Chuck Fletcher promised to let him come and play right away. Danny B and Jonesy come in and say, we want you to go to college for 2 years. He didn't like that. He wanted to be traded to whatever. We traded him over. The rest is history. Allegedly, what the rumor is, that he didn't want to go and play college for 2 years. He wanted to slide in the NHL right away, which means he probably didn't want to play in the AHL. He didn't want to develop. He thought he was fine development. So after he gets traded to the Ducks, so let's see. So he's active with the Ducks 2023-24. So he plays in Boston College for 41 games in 2023-24. Plays so absolutely kills it. Boston College, he plays in 41 games. He has 38 goals, 27 assists, and 65 points total, and is a plus-minus of 23. So he plays one game for the Anaheim Ducks that season and gets one assist, which that's fine. But he did exactly what Jonesy and Briere suggested he do before coming and playing for the Flyers. He went to college for 2 years. He just never wanted to play for the Flyers. That's all it is. So then in Anaheim, he finally plays an entire season, 2024-25, 82 games played. He gets 20 goals, 24 assists, 44 points, and plus-minus of 8. So, yeah, so he activated, but he developed. So when everybody says we messed up and did all this, we literally told him that we wanted him to go to college and develop a little bit more. And he said no to us, but then was okay with doing it in Anaheim. He just never wanted to play for the Flyers. So for me, what I think ended up happening, which I said it right away once all it started happening, he talked to someone and someone said to not play for the Flyers. And my thing is, I think that person was probably a parental person. You do not want to play in Philly. They're in this whole thing. You don't want to play there. You want to go win now. That's what I think happened. So tired of the whole Cutter Gauthier shit. That's what happened. That's what it is. So just leave it alone. Shut the fuck up. He's not coming back. Brandon says Brody said how Cutter is a stud and playing well. Dude, I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not playing well. I'm just saying that it's just fucking he never wanted to play here. So it is what it is. Just drop it. And Wade says his dad, and I do think it was his dad. I 100% think it was his dad. Especially when you have a kid of his caliber coming up in nowadays times. Kids do not want to fucking work for anything. Kids do not want to be told that they're not doing good. Kids don't want to do shit. So by us telling him we want him to go to college, he went to fucking Boston College. Dude, what the fuck? Come on. Wade also says, I think I saw something. They both were Pens fans. Right. And then he goes, yeah. So it makes sense. Anyway, that was the first one. Moron of the week. We got a second one here from Jonathan Davenport from, again, the Flyers Talk group on Facebook. For all those who hate the tank, in quotes, word, this is a bottoming out lineup that the team decided to put in long after it should have. And no, they aren't trying to lose on purpose. Yeah, I don't think this is like a moron of the week. I don't like the word tank, so we're just gonna remove that one. But yeah, just Flyers talk. And this is our third one. Another one, Terry Krause from the Flyers Talk Facebook group. Cutter has, again, here we go with the Cutter shit. Cutter has 31 goals, superstar in the making, and the Flyers brass said he could not make the team and would need to start in the AHL. That's not what they said, first off. This situation will haunt the Flyers leadership for the next 15 years. And then there's a response actually kind of like telling dude, fuck off. Trevor Zegras has 21 goals and 50 points, gave up practically nothing to get him nothing to get him going to be a star. So instead of harping on Cutter your entire life, why don't you look at what we got back from Anaheim in this trade? And it's not just one trade. It's like all kinds of trades that ended up happening. Like the starting with like Drysdale coming over, like that was the beginning of the trade for Zegras. So, yeah, it's just, and the reason why we have this, Frank Molesky says on the Instagram, and let's go Flyers. Yeah, let's go, buddy. Thanks for chiming in on Instagram, by the way. But yeah, the Cutter stuff, come on, guys. This is the reason for moron of the week is literally the fan base is absolute shit. So, I mean, it's just that's just the way it is. I don't know why they're as bad as they are, but they are. And let's get into Dust Up, brought to you by Polished, and we're going to get out of here. Our fighting segment. All right, Dust Up is brought to you by Polish Commercial Cleaning LLC. It is Armin's Ladies Company. If you have an office needs to be cleaned out, a rental property, anything needs to be cleaned out, hit her up. Go on Instagram. There are two. Make sure you check out the one that we have in our description. You can go click on that. The link will take you exactly where you need to go. So Dust Up is our fighting segment. We didn't have too many this week, but we did have a big thing and a big step for Jamie Drysdale. Somebody checked his buddy. He did not like it. Dropped mitts. I will say right now, this content was not made by us. I do know who I got it from, but I know where I got it from. I don't know who the guy is. I tried to mute it because the guy's an absolute fucking obnoxious clown, but it's all I could find. So you guys are going to bear with it.
Later. Throw it. Kind of lets him get up while linesman get. When you do that, that's amazing. If you had a fight in his NHL career,
has not.
Oh man, what a shot everybody was taking over there. This fight blew our freaking tops off. Well, I don't know if you could say that, but you know what I'm saying. This was high energy, high action, crazy freaking bruiser.
You understand what I'm saying? The guy's an absolute mutant. But I will say this, big deal for Jamie Drysdale to do that. I don't know if it was anybody else, if he would have done it. He's like best friends with Cam York. So not sure if he would have done it for anybody else. But at the same time, if you watch that, if you go watch the game, right when they hit the ground, he like elbows the dude a couple times. Big fan of that. Didn't like the hit. So, and with that being said, that will wrap up this show. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook and let's get that bad boy rolling. Make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Flyers Alley, on Instagram at Flyers Alley. You could go to Instagram and Old City Sports too. We're live on there. Make sure you go to Twitter, Flyers Alley Pod 1, and our YouTube page at Old City Sports Network. Subscribe there, and we will subscribe back if you're a content creator. And make sure you guys go to www.oldcitysports.com for your favorite OCSN podcast, articles, and more. And visit our merch shop at ocsn-shop.fourthwall.com. There's tons of awesome looking merch over there. And we're going to be putting a promo code up there soon so people can get that going. And make sure you guys go check out the rest of the shows on the network. The Living Room Show, What I Can Remember, the Grit and Barrett podcast, The Howl, Between the Benches, The Puck Drop, What Have You Done Lately, and Ducks and Pucks. And with that being said, we will see you guys next week for another episode of Flyers Alley. Until then, enjoy the Flyers. Hopefully we get some things going on here. And it's a busy week. We got 4 games, got a back-to-back. It's important for the boys. So that being said, we'll see you guys next week.
Down in Philly where the orange and black still burn. 4 die-hard voices got a lot to say and learn. Jesse Bell